Right now, somewhere in America, there's a 63-year-old guy sitting at his kitchen table staring at a spreadsheet trying to figure out if he has enough money to retire. He's run the numbers 14 times. He's watched every video about Roth conversions, Social Security timing, and safe withdrawal rates, and he's still terrified. But here's what nobody told that guy. Some of the most powerful retirement moves you'll ever make don't show up on a spreadsheet at all. They show up in your shopping cart. Today, I'm breaking down the cheap purchases that will genuinely transform your retirement, and I've organized them into 6 categories so this actually makes sense. Because there's a method to this madness. Cheap purchases that actually improve retirement do one of 3 things. They save you money repeatedly, they protect your health, or they give you something meaningful to do. If a purchase doesn't do at least one of those 3 things, it's not a retirement upgrade, it's clutter. So let's get into it. Category 1, money-saving basics. Let's talk about solar lights and lanterns first. If you're still lighting your porch, your walkway, your backyard, and your garage with electricity, you're basically writing a check to the power company every single night for the privilege of seeing where you're walking. Solar-powered outdoor lights cost you somewhere between $15 and $40 for a pack, and they run on literally the sun, free energy, falling from the sky, every single day. Over the course of a 20-year retirement, switching your outdoor lighting to solar can save you hundreds of dollars. Not life-changing on its own, but we're stacking savings here. Every dollar counts when you're on a fixed income. LED bulbs. If you still have incandescent bulbs in your house, I need you to understand that you are voluntarily paying 75% more for your lighting than you need to. LED bulbs use a fraction of the energy. They last 25 times longer, and they cost about $10 to $15 for a multi-pack. In retirement, you're home more, the lights are on more, the savings compound faster. Swap them out once and forget about it for a decade. It's the laziest smart financial move in existence, and I respect it deeply. And finally in this category, a basic rainwater collection setup. Now, before you picture some elaborate off-grid homesteader situation, relax. I'm talking about a simple rain barrel that catches water from your downspout. You can get a basic setup for $30 to $50. You use that water for your garden, your lawn, washing your car, whatever. It reduces your water bill quietly in the background every single month. Is it glamorous? Absolutely not. Is it effective? You bet it is. None of this is exciting, I know that, but this is how you stretch retirement income without feeling deprived. You're not cutting anything out of your life, you're just paying less for the things you already use. Category 2, food-producing purchases. This might be the hidden gold mine of the entire video, growing your own food. Now, I know some of you just mentally checked out because you think gardening is for people who wear floppy hats and talk to their tomatoes. And you're right, those people do exist, but they're also saving a fortune on groceries, so maybe they're onto something. Seeds and basic garden tools are almost absurdly cheap. A packet of vegetable seeds costs like $2 to $3 and can produce more food than you'd buy at the grocery store for $50. A basic set of garden tools runs you maybe $20 to $30 and lasts for years. The return on investment here is genuinely wild. You're turning pocket change into actual food. That's not a hobby. That's a financial strategy disguised as a hobby. And if you don't have a yard, don't even worry about it. Container gardens are perfect for small spaces. A few 5-gallon buckets, some potting soil, and some seeds, and you can grow tomatoes, peppers, herbs, lettuce, and more right on your patio or balcony. Total cost, maybe $20 to $40. Total output, months and months of fresh produce. I've seen retirees grow enough herbs and vegetables in containers to cut their grocery bills by $30 to $50 a month during growing season. That adds up real fast.
Now, if you really want to play the long game, fruit trees. A young fruit tree costs somewhere between $20 and $60 depending on the variety, and once it matures, it produces fruit for decades. Decades. One apple tree can produce 300 to 400 pounds of apples per year. You plant one tree today, and you're eating free apples for the rest of your retirement. Tell me another investment that gives you that kind of return. I'll wait. And tying it all together, a compost bin. Costs about $20 to $50, and it turns your kitchen scraps and yard waste into free fertilizer for your garden. So now you're growing food for almost nothing and fertilizing it with stuff you would have thrown away. You've basically created a closed-loop food system in your backyard for under $100 total. Even a small garden offsets grocery costs in a meaningful way, and honestly, it doubles as one of the most satisfying hobbies you can pick up in retirement. There's something about eating a salad you grew yourself that just hits different. Category 3, comfort upgrades. And this is the one people always overlook because they think comfort is a luxury. It's not. In retirement, you're going to spend way more time at home than you used to. Way more. And if your home isn't set up to be comfortable, you're going to feel it in your body every single day. Let's start with a good chair. And I don't mean a lazy boy recliner that swallows you whole, although I'm not judging if that's your thing. I mean a chair that actually supports your back properly. Whether it's for reading, watching TV, sitting at a desk, or eating meals, the chair you use most often is either helping your body or slowly destroying it. A decent ergonomic chair or a quality cushion for your existing chair costs somewhere between $50 and $150. A back surgery costs tens of thousands. I'll let you do that math. Next, a supportive pillow or a mattress topper. You spend a third of your life sleeping. In retirement, maybe even more than that since you're not setting an alarm anymore, you lucky dog. A quality pillow costs $20 to $60. A good mattress topper runs $50 to $150. And the difference in your sleep quality is night and day, literally. Better sleep means better mood, better health, better energy, better everything. It's one of those purchases where you'll lay down the first night and think, why did I wait so long to do this? Every single person says that. It's basically a universal experience. Here's one that sounds ridiculous, but is actually genius. A heated blanket. Costs about $30 to $60. And instead of cranking the thermostat up to 72 and heating your entire 2,000 square foot house, you wrap yourself in a heated blanket and keep the thermostat at 65. You're warm, your electric bill is lower, everybody wins. It's targeted warmth, which is way more efficient and way more cozy than just blasting heat through every room, including the 3 you're not even sitting in. And finally, a footrest. I know, a footrest. It sounds like something your grandma had in 1974, but elevated feet improve circulation, reduce lower back strain, and just feel really good when you're sitting for extended periods. They cost like $15 to $30, and every single retiree I've talked to who bought one said they use it every day. Sometimes the simplest purchases make the biggest daily difference. Category 4, cheap hobby starters. And this is where happiness actually comes from in retirement, not from your account balance, not from your investment returns, from having something to do that you actually enjoy. Retirees consistently say that hobbies are what make retirement enjoyable, not expensive things. $1 million in the bank means nothing if you're bored out of your mind every day. Books or an e-reader. An e-reader costs about $80 to $100 and gives you access to thousands of free and cheap books. A library card, which is literally free, gives you even more. Endless entertainment for almost nothing. And reading keeps your brain active, which becomes incredibly important as you age. 2 birds, 1 stone, 0 excuses. A basic musical instrument. You can pick up a beginner ukulele for $25, a harmonica for $10, a keyboard for under $100. Learning an instrument in retirement is one of the most rewarding things you can do. It's challenging enough to keep you engaged, creative enough to be fulfilling, and social enough that it can connect you with other people. Nobody ever said they regretted learning to play music. Nobody. In the history of humans, it's never happened. Art supplies. A basic set of watercolors, some brushes, and a sketch pad will run you about $20 to $30 total. And suddenly, you have a creative outlet that you can do at your kitchen table, in your backyard, or at a park. It doesn't matter if you're good at it. That's not the point. The point is that you're making something, you're creating, and that feeling of creation is worth way more than whatever you spent on the supplies. And for the outdoorsy folks, a decent pair of binoculars. $40 to $60 for a solid entry-level pair, and suddenly every walk becomes interesting. Bird watching, nature observation, just being outside and paying attention to the world around you. It sounds simple because it is, and simple is exactly what retirement should be sometimes. Category 5, brain and social life tools. And I'm going to be real with you here. This one might be the most important category on the entire list, and it's a bit different from the happiness category. The number one thing that destroys retirement isn't running out of money. It's running out of purpose. Lack of purpose in retirement is actually linked to worse health outcomes, depression, cognitive decline, physical deterioration. It's all connected. Staying engaged matters, like really matters. Board games and puzzles. Sounds old school, but they're incredible for keeping your brain sharp and staying connected with people. A good board game costs $20 to $40 and provides hundreds of hours of entertainment. Puzzles run you about $10 to $20, and they're surprisingly addictive. Plus, game nights are one of the best excuses to get friends and family together on a regular basis. Language learning apps. Most of them are free or very cheap, and learning a new language in retirement gives you something incredibly valuable, a sense of progress and purpose. You wake up every morning with something to work toward. And if you ever travel, even domestically, to communities where another language is spoken, you've got a skill that opens doors and starts conversations. And cheap local club memberships, walking groups, gardening clubs, book clubs, community center memberships, church groups, volunteer organizations. Most of these are either free or cost a few bucks a month, and they solve the single biggest threat to your retirement, which is isolation. Having a reason to leave the house and be around people who share your interests is not optional in retirement. It's essential. Category 6, small life hack gadgets. The final category, and these are the ones that sound completely ridiculous until you own one, and then you can't imagine life without it. A grabber tool costs about 10 to 15 bucks, lets you pick things up off the floor, reach stuff on high shelves, and generally avoid bending and straining in ways that could lead to injury. It sounds like an infomercial product. It is an infomercial product, and it's also genuinely one of the most used items in retired households across the country. Your pride is not worth a herniated disc. Get the grabber. A digital kitchen scale, 20 to 30 bucks, and it completely changes how you cook. Better portions, less waste, more consistency. When you're cooking for 1 or 2 people instead of a family, portions matter. Food waste is basically throwing money in the trash. A kitchen scale keeps you precise, which keeps your grocery bill lower and your meals better. A long-handled shoehorn. I'm talking about a $3 piece of plastic that saves you from bending over to put your shoes on every single day. It sounds absolutely absurd to recommend this in a finance video, but when you're doing it twice a day, every day for 20 or 30 years of retirement, that's thousands of times you're not straining your back. $3, thousands of uses. That's the kind of math I like. And a stick blender, also called an immersion blender, costs about 20 to 30 bucks, and it lets you make soups, smoothies, sauces, and purees directly in the pot or glass without dragging out a full-size blender and cleaning 17 parts afterward. Quick, cheap meals with minimal cleanup. In retirement, anything that makes cooking easier and cheaper is a win. Funny enough, many retirees say these tiny items end up being the things they use every single day. Not the expensive stuff, the cheap stuff, the $10 grabber and the $3 shoehorn. So here's what you can do. Go through this list, pick the ones that make sense for your life, and start there. You don't have to buy everything. You don't have to overhaul your entire routine overnight. Just start stacking small wins. Because that's what retirement planning really is. It's not one big, dramatic decision. It's 1,000 small, smart ones. If this video helped you think about retirement a little differently, hit that like button and drop a comment telling me which category you think is the most underrated. Take care of yourselves, take care of your money, and I'll see you soon.